Welcome to CMO Weekly, the show where we sit down with the world's top executives to uncover the bold moves, tough lessons, and breakthrough ideas that have shaped their journey. Every episode, we go beyond the headlines to explore what it really takes to build brands, lead teams, and stay ahead in a fast-changing environment. I'm Hayley Glover, and this is CMO Weekly. This episode is brought to you by Open Fortune. Open Fortune is the only marketing company putting your brand inside of actual fortune cookies. Yep, those cookies that you crack open after dinner, they're now prime real estate for your brand message. Think about, distributing your cookies in millions of branded fortunes every month through thousands of restaurants worldwide, giving brands a moment of surprise and attention that a banner ad can't match. If you're hoping to catch somebody when they're having fun and they're engaged, go to openfortune.com to learn more. Okay, my guest today is Oliver Sanchez, the commercial director and investor at Stadiobet Mexico, a fast-growing social sportsbook and casino in Mexico. With a background in software sales and a lifetime passion for sports and gaming, Oliver joined Stadiobet to help scale its operations and bring a community-first betting experience to Mexican fans. Combining his expertise in commercial strategy with his entrepreneurial mindset, he focuses on driving user growth, building partnerships, and shaping Stadiobet into the most innovative sports entertainment platform in Latin America. Oliver, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, Hayley. A pleasure to be here, an honor.
Yeah, I'm excited to chat, and I'm sure you've been busy with SBC, as the folks know from watching our episodes.
Indeed.
We tend to do a lot of conferences, and the days are busy, so we appreciate your time and you sitting down to chat. I'd love to learn a little bit more about just your background first, so can you kind of tell me how you found yourself in the gaming industry in general?
Yes, definitely. I mean, it goes a long way back. I've been a professional gymnast when I was a kid.
Oh, wow, how cool.
Did it for 18 years, roundabout.
So you had an entire career before you ever had a career. I love that, that's amazing.
Yeah, I started very soon. My mom was also a professional gymnast, and I just love sports. I mean, besides gymnastics, soccer, football, you name it, everything. I play everything. So that's where I think my competitiveness came out.
Sure.
And gaming, it came just naturally. I mean, who doesn't nowadays?
Something you liked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everything related to sports, and of course then coming 18, 19, started betting.
Sure.
And yeah, that's how I actually started with that passion. But then I saw okay, how do I get to the other side? I was very interested to understand how does actually a bet works, what's all behind the curtains.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually came to interest coming into this industry.
That's amazing. So what maybe has been the most surprising thing getting into the gaming industry as somebody that was more, like you said, on the opposite side of things, a fan of the experience, and now knowing maybe what consumers like? What has kind of been the most surprising part?
Well, first of all, to understand that when you're just a customer and you're just playing or betting, you have always in mind the house always wins.
Yeah,
And it's easy, we're just making money. But now when you get to the other side as an operator, you see how complex it is, how it's not in the reality of that taboo that everyone speaks of. We always win. No, it doesn't. There's a lot in the background. It's a lot of complex things, a lot of factors that built up this business.
Right.
But at the end, yes, it is a business, and we try to make money of it. But I would say that was like the first big impression, to see how complex in reality is the business.
The mindset shift.
Yes. It's another world. And I mean, for me being a soccer fan, I love Real Madrid. Nowadays, when I watch a game, I'm actually not rooting Real Madrid, even though I love them.
Because of your business.
Exactly.
That's so funny.
Because everyone's like, Real Madrid is going to win, or Barcelona, and they're like, I'd rather have them losing today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it gets that taste a little bit away of that fanatic part.
Sure.
So I would say that's one of the challenges, or the
something surprising to you. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so tell folks who maybe don't know much about Stadiobet what it is in general and how it got started.
Yes, so basically Eric, my partner and CEO of Stadiobet, he went along after his bachelor directly into the industry. He loved it as well. He played basketball, and he went directly to work in different casinos. And then he said, okay, I've learned a lot, but there's a big gap on the casinos and the online casinos that not everyone is looking at, and mainly in Mexico. Mexico is a very complex market, let's say, where the customers want not just to put a bet and that's it and thank you very much. They want fast payments, they want to be interactive. So he saw the gap and he had a vision. Okay, there's a lot of players around. What do I do to have something different, to bring value to the customer? Because he is, myself as well, we love betting, but there were a lot of things like we had the feeling it was failing. And that's how Stadiobet was born, with the idea of bringing social media content also to a platform where you can share as well, like Instagram or X right now. You can share memes, you can share content, you have influencers talking about sports, but all on the same platform. So all in the same app where you can bet, you can give a like, share your content.
A social sports.
Social sportsbook. Or even nowadays you have a lot of tipsters, like professional people that are looking what to bet. Sometimes they need to get their money through WhatsApp, Telegram, different channels. And that's the idea and the vision that Eric and myself had, to bring everything on the same bucket and bring it into one platform.
That's really cool. It's a way to create community.
Exactly.
With a common, passion, like
definitely,
you mentioned.
Definitely.
So how do you get, one thing that I've heard so much when I'm at these conferences is trust. Trust is so important when money is involved in general. How do you get consumers to come onto the platform and say, sportsbooks are great in general, but here's why being part of a sportsbook community is more important or more fun or more engaging than maybe some of the competitors that have been in Mexico already for a certain amount of time?
Well, the key thing to understand is the behavior of the market, Mexican market, but also to understand what do they like. What do they like? So yes, we know they want to put money and it goes fast directly to your account, but the same thing when they want to withdraw.
They want it fast.
They want it fast. Everything right now is changing all the time, every minute. So understanding the market, what people and their needs are, is a key component, I would say. And that's where social media comes in. So you go into Instagram, like I mentioned, you go to X, you have different topics all the time. You have politics, you have sports, name it. With us, if you understand that you can give the people only Stadiobet, go in, everything that you're gonna see is sports.
You don't need the noise of everything.
Exactly.
You get everything you want.
So you go into one place where you feel like comprehended. You just want to look in that minute, sports, news, and then of course do your betting and also casino.
Right. Well, I have to imagine it's interesting because I'm sure part of the strategy of finding new consumers is social media in general, is looking for those folks that already like to interact in that type of way. I have to imagine, and correct me if I'm wrong, that a lot of maybe even your first-time users or your loyalty customers tell you what they want in that community. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. And I mean, there's different things that they even want, and you named it correctly. In order for them to stay with you and not go around, if you give fast payments, that's one. Also, if you give loyalty programs, like giving bonuses because they're staying and playing with you. Giving them, for example, we give everyone that loses money on the week, we give 10 to 15% back to the player, so they can again feel, okay, I lost it, but I'm getting back a little bit, something of it. And also not being like super aggressive from saying, okay, we're gonna be looking your advertisements everywhere and just bet. That's the social part that we focus on. On the community.
Yeah, I mean, how are there different, and this is just like, I'm interested, are there different regulations when you try to have some type of social experience like that than there is if you were just able to go place a bet on, the sports book? Is there a different kind of
fun question? Yes and no. No, why? Because we're the first ones that actually combine social media, like a social media application, to a sports book.
Cool.
So that's good on one side because there's no regulation directly. On the other hand, we need to really look for regulations like Instagram, Facebook, Meta, whatever, to regulate what is posted, that we share, that people have their identity correctly, that you don't have minors, for example, and that's something we need to adjust. Even though we're a social media bet platform, we cannot have people underage, 18 being in Mexico, for example.
Of course. Well, so talk to me a little bit about, looking over your bio and just your background in general. You're obviously focused a lot on user growth. So talk to me on the marketing side of things. What are the channels that you find are most successful for you all when you are advertising or when you are trying, maybe it's brand awareness or maybe it's SEO? What are those channels that tend to work really well for you all? And then what are, second part of that is, what are those KPIs that you look at to determine that advertising was even successful?
Yes, so there's different factors, I would say. SEO, of course, advertising through Google Ads, Meta. Of course, being a new competitor in the market, the more money you put in on ads, it says the better. However, we focus on the other side as well. Being social betting platform, we went directly and focused also on going organically outside.
Okay.
Influencers, people of interest that really relate to sports.
Yeah.
I mean, we're on an age where almost everyone's having a podcast, for example.
Right.
So our idea was to target also those people, like podcasts, content creators, influencers, everything related to sports.
Yeah, folks that have an audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that part would be the affiliate part and doing it organically. Yes, we can throw up a lot of money in sponsorships. Does it really help? Can I measure it?
Sure.
Not always. And for me, when we differentiate to other casinos, we don't have the biggest budgets.
Sure.
So we need to really focus. And for me, is if there's no data that I can relate to, it doesn't help me.
Hard for you to spend.
Why should I spend 100K, 200K on a 5 minutes or 5-second advertisement on TV when I'm not looking into the metrics? So
you like to know $1 out, $1 in, ideally, and being able to really attribute where your money is
100%.
going.
And again, to your question, KPI, CPA, my cost per acquisition is my main point.
Yep.
And in Mexico, it's between 70 to 120 US dollars for first-time deposit.
Okay.
In our case, we have it around about 50 US dollars per affiliate, because we're focusing on SEO, Google Ads, Meta Ads, and organically going into affiliates.
Yeah. Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense, especially as how old is Stadiobet?
10 months.
10 months. Okay, I thought it was super young.
Yeah,
so I mean, it's awesome that there's already market presence at all for this sort of thing. But when you're looking at like the next 5 years, what are you and your partner saying? Okay, this is the goal. This is where we want to be. I have to imagine that there's like a very strong vision in the beginning, and then it constantly is changing and adjusting as you go.
Definitely. I mean, one thing that I love about us is that we pivot very fast.
Yeah, it's great. It has to.
Yeah, there's change. Nowadays, the change comes every single day. Yeah. So we need to pay attention and try things and just see, okay, is it working? Yes, let's follow that path.
Yep.
Is this not working? Pivot fast, make a change.
Yeah.
And a lot of these big competitors, what they have, they're such a big organization that it's hard to do some changes and pivot fast. Right. And that gives us a little bit the leverage to not only on our product that we have and the value added that we have with social betting, but also focusing on, okay, short term, have the community that understands, okay, I can socialize, I can bet everything in the same place, even for the tipsters or pro tipsters. Right. I can charge directly my monthly fee to have my picks. You do it through us without doing it yourself. Focus on what you're good at. And what we want to do in the long term is have an all-in-one platform. That's a focus, and pivot. Also, payments, crypto is very big. Yeah. Having the option to have crypto all the time, but nevertheless, also having the backbone of everything that in the market, in the Mexican market, is actually important. Let's say in the US, you have a lot of 7-Elevens. Yeah. In Mexico, for us, is 7-Eleven and Oxxo. Okay. And you can pay directly through them.
Oh, wow.
Operators that don't have that are losing a lot of exposure.
That's so interesting.
You can go directly to your 7-Eleven and say, okay, I want to charge $10 to Stadiobet, for example.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's actually not something I've ever heard of.
Yeah, in Mexico,
That's cool.
it's big, and that's the thing. If
Wow.
you focus on bringing that also to your pot,
Yeah.
it brings you leverage.
Yeah, that's very interesting. So, what, this focus now in the first year of business, which is crazy. You're coming up on a year of business, so congratulations, because
Thank
that's
you,
really
appreciate
tough. Yeah, of course. The next 2 months, do we have a strong focus on something specific to end the year off? Or is it just like, have you hit your kind of first year goals that you all set for yourselves?
Yes, I mean, our first goal is to have the breaking point, break even,
Yeah.
be profitable, of course, for
Sure.
investors and for our associates.
Yeah.
But one of our goals right now in the next 2 months is, so we have the proof of concept now of the app.
Yeah.
It's our own app. Now, see what is actually functioning, like hearing just the feedback of our customer.
Yeah.
What is working, what's not working. Focus on that to make a strong backbone with our platform. The social media. There's a lot of things that bots happening on the backside.
Of course.
And first we need to strengthen that part, close the year strong on our idea, on our concept, and from there prioritize what is more important. And for us, for example, right now, is to have a growth, consistent growth,
Yeah.
which we're having, but now we need to scale.
That's great.
Concept is there,
Yeah.
40,000 users already in the app, but now how do we scale?
Yeah. So does that marketing strategy shift at all when we talk about scaling? Because, of course, it's so important to know where your marketing dollars are going. And then at some point, you do need brand awareness for folks to try. And so you have to get to a place where maybe you have to balance the money you're spending on attributable marketing and also more experiential or brand awareness type of marketing.
Definitely.
Is that, something that you all will focus on, or that you kind of understand maybe that'll help in the scaling process?
Indeed, definitely. I mean, we call it also on-premise events, for
Okay.
example. In November, we're having our big event where we're sponsoring a golf tournament
Fun.
for young people between 20 and 30. So it's a way of coming and having that brand awareness coming into events. And as I mentioned, if we're not the big whales to come up and sponsor, for example, a soccer team
Right.
or a basketball team, focus on those little things regionally that
Yeah,
can
that makes
leverage.
sense for you now.
Exactly, but bring
Yeah.
you the brand awareness.
Yeah, I mean, hey, in the future, you might be the whale that's on the jersey.
Let's hope that,
Lots of
yes.
Fingers crossed, right? But you just,
Yes.
you have to do what makes sense for where you're at.
Definitely.
Perfect.
Or also thinking outside the box.
Mhm.
For example, no one is looking at, for example, women soccer in Mexico.
Okay.
It's getting bigger and bigger, but
Sure.
every big brand goes to male football, which is fair enough. That's where the most of the people are looking at.
Sure.
But there is proven track that women's sports are really taking a big heads up.
Absolutely. And the fans that are watching those sports are loyal fans.
Exactly.
And so those, people that tend to be loyal in one place may be, loyal to
And that's
your app
idea
as well.
to come up a little bit more into sponsorship,
Yeah.
maybe on something that not everyone is focused.
Yeah.
Women's sports, I think, would be one of the next steps.
That makes sense. That's not surprising. Women's sports in the U.S. is having a big moment as well, which is great to see.
Yes, or
Yeah.
for example, other sports, paddle,
Pickleball.
pickleball.
Yeah.
It's in
It's
Mexico. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Right now, even you can't directly bet on it, but if you have presence there, you
Right.
have brand awareness, and you understand where the people are.
Sure.
There it is.
Well, and as somebody that has created the first community-focused social betting app, finding those places like Padel and Pickleball, where it's literally, they have these large communities with massive followings.
Yes.
And I mean, God, there's Discord feeds and Reddit feeds of people that are learning those sports or just talking about them. It makes a lot of sense that those types of people would also be interested
Definitely.
in something that's
Definitely.
social like that.
At the end, it's sports.
Yeah.
And at the end, we want to build up that community,
Yeah.
make it bigger, because at the end, and I mean, here I'm talking now also from different point of revenue stream.
Right.
That's why we wanted also to have the social media part.
Yeah.
I mean, Instagram, when they started, they didn't even make money. When it started, where you have published ads
Sure.
from different companies. So if we have a good base, of the community. At the end, we can localize for brands. Let's say Philip Morris,
Yeah.
Corona, and tell guys, we have this market of people, mostly men, from this age to this age, advertise on our social media. And
course.
therefore you have another stream
Of revenue.
to bring up revenue.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, year one, almost done. The app is coming. Do you all have, I'm sure, a date in mind or a hopeful time to have that app like out and about? Or is the app already
No,
out?
the app
is out.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So, when I heard you say you have the concept of the app, I thought that you were still building it. So it's here.
Yeah,
You can
sorry.
use
The
it.
proof
No,
of
no, you're
concept
good.
for me that this year was kind of like
I
the
got
proof
you.
of
The proof
concept.
that it is working. And that's
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Okay. So what is the next goal then? Like we shift our focus because this is all like incredible insight as to someone that's getting a business going in the first year and like what you're focused on. And now how does that switch and what does this next year look like for you all?
Well, set up
Continuation.
set up the backbone,
Yeah.
which we are there. Then focus on bringing more community into it,
Yeah.
and have those new revenue streams.
Okay.
That's the next goal,
Yeah.
and just understand what do we need to change, whether it's on the design, UX, UI, backend, whatever. We need to see fast what do we need to change to now really go the next step. Step one, done,
Yeah.
proof of concept. Second step, scale up.
Yeah. Well, and to kind of wrap this up, what type of experience now that you've done it would you give somebody that's maybe in those beginning stages of thinking like I have an idea, I have a passion for something that I think I can make a bit better or more engaging? What's the advice you give somebody like that to kind of go for it?
Be open for change.
Yeah.
Be open for change. Be skeptical for everything and act fast. I think acting at the moment and not reacting
Yeah.
is the best thing to do, because the old paths, you can do it, but it doesn't bring you anywhere. You need to have a constant change in your business, understand the customer. Customer is changing every minute, and just pivot and go for it.
And go for it. Yeah. So you don't have to wait till it's perfect. You'll learn along the way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just try things. Try things. If it works, go ahead. If it doesn't work, do something different.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oliver, this was fantastic. Thank you for all of the insight that you brought in and letting us learn a little bit more about Stadiobet. I'm excited to see how it continues to grow
Definitely.
over the next few years. But if people want to follow along with you and with Stadiobet, where are the best places that they can find you all?
Everywhere. TikTok,
Okay.
YouTube. We have our channel as well on YouTube. Big Kick, Twitch.
Okay.
So we're kind of trying to move everywhere.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, of course, for a professional matter of the people.
Yeah.
And big Instagram. That's it.
And if you're in Mexico, go bet.
Please come here.
Well, thank you so much for listening. This is another episode of CMO Weekly. And if you like what you're hearing, please hit subscribe and we will see you next week.